If you're looking for a classic American sports car, you can't go wrong with the first generation Corvette. This beauty was first introduced in 1953 as a show car for the GM Motorama, and it was an instant hit with the public. Among those who noticed the car was Zora Arkus Duntov. Although the concept of the Corvette was the brainchild of Harley Earl, who wanted to create America's version of the European sports car, Duntov's influence would earn him the nickname Father of the Corvette. It had a sleek fiberglass body, an inline-six engine, and a convertible top that made it perfect for cruising on sunny days. But although it was stylish, Duntov was disappointed in its performance. He was a racer at heart, and the Corvette deserved better. By 1955, the inline-six was replaced with a V8, which remains part of the car's lineage to this day. In 1956, the body received a major revision, and in 57 it was offered with an optional mechanical fuel injection system for the V8. The 58, which we received in the game, had a less dramatic front-end revision, adding the quad headlamps that we see here. 61 and 62, which were the final years of the C1, received a restyled rear end, foreshadowing the upcoming C2 Corvette. But the first generation Corvette was not just a pretty face. It was also a performance machine that could rival some of the best cars in the world. It had a lightweight chassis, a 4-speed manual transmission, and a suspension that was tuned for handling. It could accelerate from 0 to 60 in less than 6 seconds and reach a top speed over 150 miles per hour. It was also a race car that competed in various events such as the 12 Hours of Sebring and the Daytona Speed Week. That's not too bad for a car that's essentially sitting on a truck frame with a solid rear axle and rear leaf springs. Let's go ahead and take this thing over to Tokyo and see how it handles our lap. The C1 Corvette is a surprisingly nice handling car once you get it set up. Getting it race prepped means stiffening the suspension, but you'll want to stiffen the front end up more than the rear. The car starts out very twitchy, but the softer rear end helps bring the car under control while letting it keep its personality. I'll have the setup at the end of the video, just like normal. This car feels plenty powerful with its factory engine, even though it sounds a bit lazy. The engine and chassis combo feel very well at home together, so it doesn't seem like the best candidate for an engine swap. After working on the suspension, the car feels very well balanced, even without any aero. There are options to remove the bumpers, which was customary at the time, and I did end up doing that on this red car, but it's mainly cosmetic and doesn't create any downforce. With the optional titanium engine parts installed, the Corvette's red line jumps above 8,000 RPM, so even though the transmission is set to 280 kilometers per hour, it'll easily break 320 or 200 miles per hour. We ended up with the front tires wearing at around 10%, while the rears were around 15%, so again, it is a very well balanced car. With the supercharger installed, the car is a bit thirsty. We were able to get right around 4 laps with the current setup. This car is very capable at Le Mans, but even on Fuel Map 6, you're probably only going to be stretching it out to around 3 laps before having to pit in. That being said, I highly recommend purchasing this vehicle. It's a lot of fun to drive, and the first generation Corvette set the stage for its descendants and continues to be an icon that can rival competitors way above its price range. After I ran this car for a few laps, I fell in love with it, and it made sense to me why the Corvette is known as America's sports car. We ended up crossing the line here in Tokyo at 2 minutes, 2 seconds, .077, which puts it right behind the Civic Type R and just in front of the DB5. If you enjoyed the video, please think about subscribing so you don't miss any future content, and we will catch you in the next one.